Okay, how do I explain this? It's like duality's been running like this forever because its line is split and it's two frequencies running as one frequency in a never ending loop. So now where we're at is like the Q. We're still in Q. We're still in duality. But now they don't have anything else to bounce that frequency off of. So it's going to make the frequencies really distinctive. Like we're taking sides now in the world. It's I stand for this, I stand for this. You are right, you are wrong. This is right, this is wrong. That's where we're at now. And we've been running in this loop, which is why there is no date. We're running duality completely out to exhaustion. That's how I see it. I don't know if this is the best way to say it, but still, I could think of to show it. And within this dual world, there was a controller, a controlling three. Like the Illuminati Eye, for example, there's one control in here somewhere that controls both these sides. They're always playing them off one another. So what's happening now is we're running out the queue, and what's happened is a new control is dropped in here, and it is reconciling everything. And what it's going to do in the end is it's going to provide a new way forward, an exit, a queue line. That's what I call the queue line. It's going to separate the frequencies. The frequencies that come in the path of restoration line, exit path, and queue line will be a certain frequency set. And the rest of them, I have ideas, but who cares? It's not. It's not really. It would just be. There's whatever. However, it's going to be dealt with. It's going to be dealt with a different way than these queue line people. So, what else can I say about it? This is the symbol. So we're running this out to exhaustion. It's essentially getting tighter and tighter. You're seeing it everywhere. The whole thing's just getting to the point, the breaking point. And then it's just going to come down to you have to choose one or the other. And where there are two, it says there is always a third. So instead of this being the third, a new third has been dropped into the space. So when we see the new third, the frequencies, they can see it, and those that can hold it, or however you want to terminologize it, can access it. Seeing this in 3D, I really don't know if this makes any sense. But hey, I gave it a shot. And then to finish this up, so the symbology says we are looking for this duality, positive and negative, and this is creating access to a new 0 point, which is this. So this is the straight narrow pathway. This way it's the hourglass. I have very limited drawing skills. And then this is the bridge. So we're basically exiting this world. We're falling into the new. Have to go through a cleanup. The bridge, the straight narrow path, which not only sets your path straight as you walk that path, it cleans you up, so to speak. It's given back to the one. All of the things that were sealed are now unsealed, Everything becomes accessible, and it doesn't feel like it's a bam all at once necessarily till the end, but it's just what you can handle. It's more and more and more and more, and you can see what you want to see. Um, this to me is 13. It's out of time. We're out of the time loop construct. We're out of this 12. This is an aerial view of this. We're about getting ready to go through something final. Or at least I am. I really can't speak for anybody other than myself. But this part is the point of squeezing these down to non-existence. That really one line will be seen. This is this. I guess you'll either see it or you won't. And we got to go through this process. And then we go through to the gate, which is essentially the end of the cleanup, and then symbolically the gem system, the light highway, like a big crystal that however the frequencies hit it, it fractionalizes like multi portals of the whole universes apparently. And you find your spot, and you go to your new, Lisa calls it neighborhood. I like that actually, but I would call it a world, but because it is your world, but it's also your neighborhood, because then that gets into this whole scenario. This was like 10 years ago. I found myself from this vantage point looking down on all of these worlds that were all in circles, and this was before the flat earth stuff with the stuff on the other side of the ice wall. I didn't see it that way. I just saw it as looking down at all of these worlds, which just gone honestly, and it's like all of them connected. It's like this is a world, there's a realm outside, and all of them connected like something like this. They all connected, but they're completely different frequency ranges, and you don't just like walk into somebody's neighborhood. Like this is a whole world contained. And it's like everybody from every world can play multiple roles in all of these worlds. This is in the new world, I would think. So the new world brings forth, in my opinion, the opportunity to see and play based on where you, I hate the term, raise your vibration and frequency too, but it really does seem that. Because let's see if I drop into, let's say I'm going to drop into, my world is here. And I play this out, being a world with all the players that I guess I need or choose to participate in this way. And this would be like considered one world. And then let's say, I don't know, Fred over here is maybe, I don't know, walking my same path and needs some direction in something. And because his frequency matches mine, I'm able to move to his neighborhood because I would now have access. He couldn't come here, but I can come here. And it's a complete frequency thing. So you would get into a state of consciousness, which I told Karen, like, I don't even know, forever ago. I'm going with 10 years. It's like, I feel like I'm going to be doing like this touched by an angel scenario. And this is exactly that scenario as it's played out all of the years. So it's like I have the frequency to go here and lift up him to the next level in frequency. And let's say, okay, we both equal here, then he excels here. The same thing. It's just this game of follow the leader. It's like we all connect to who we need because we're all playing games in this matrix way. I don't know how I'm coming across here. It's like we're all playing games in here. And it feels like, and I could be wrong, it feels like there's a part of me playing in everybody's world, but as different players. It's like the original players were scattered, and each bit of their fractal is finding its own. It's the great reunion, um, because by the time, I don't know if I should, I'm going to get lost if I do this. I haven't really gone much past this, but it's just been, okay, we do this world, we cross over, we bridge. So once we do this, we're playing in our worlds, our neighborhoods and everything. What what's out of here is, when we get through with the new world construct, it's um, everything. We return to all that is. And it takes us completely out of the construct game, because we're in like game board 2. We got to get back to 1, the original board. And that's what we're doing. So right now we're getting everybody to get through to this space, and then they'll go to their individual spaces depending on your creed, your natures, your cultures, your family lines, your ancestry, your hierarchies, whatever terms you want to put on it. The parts that were held in here and separated play parts in here, and we keep finding each other. We keep connecting. We keep growing. And eventually there comes a time when we outgrow this new world concept thing, and then we return to a state of all. So when we get out of duality, and this again is working a duality concept, we're moving from this side of reality to the new world side of duality, ultimately to exit and return back to all. And by all, that would be capital ALL, all that is. Where I would assume we would then go on to a new world, new creation, new game, whatever it is. But we definitely got stuck here. We got trapped. We got trapped. And it's really taken a lot to get this work down to where it is now. You know, I think it's very possible this year, but honestly, I can't cling to it. I really think it is. But the reason is because I keep noticing how they play the field. And it very well could be this March, April, the new year for the new year. It's just my opinion. It means nothing. But as slow as they play these games out and these rolls out, because it's all based on this, everything has to equilibralize to like this balance point. Always shows up as a scale, balance bar. And like right now we're tipped totally to the left, and now we've got to tip it extreme to the right. That's where you get this state of division, and then something's going to happen to bring the scale to balance, completes the star, completes the program, and then everyone can find this. Everyone that's supposed to find this can find this, that we may go through. Finish up in the neighborhood games, and return back to a state of all. Yeah. That's how it's evolved over 10 years to bring me to this point. Is it true? I have no idea. It's true for me. It's all I can say is it's all going by whatever's in my mind, and it's been painting a format, a picture, a foundation forever. And that's where I'm at with it. Big picture. Hey, good morning, everybody. Russ here. I've got a whole bunch of stuff I'm going to start putting in here throughout the day. And I'm going to do it from this morning to now for like the last few. I'm really having a hard time today. I was really in focus for a couple of days, and then it really just crashes me hard. So I'm trying to keep that focus in line, but I'm just really physically worn out. And then we had the daylight savings and stuff. So enough with the whining. But I was able to listen to the call last night before bed. I actually kind of fell asleep during part of it, sorry. But I'll listen to it again when I can. And yeah, thank you, Karen, by the way, for doing that. It's just feeling more and more like I'm supposed to get out of my shell, but I'm fighting that. I don't like it. I'm not used to. It's really a force for me to have to do stuff. But I'm actually kind of enjoying it. But so basically, um, in a nutshell, I will start thinking of something, whatever it is. This morning, I watched one of Jaco's things on the what's going to happen in the world, and California is all flooded with little islands here and there. It was just on my mind about the flooding because basically I'm right here, and so communication with source. That's that. I should really get out a couple of little props here. Excuse me while I kind of warm up. I'll probably do this one over. I don't know. Oh, here it is, the source line. Yeah, so it's here. So like this morning, I am like all over the place. Um, I'm still in here. This is blocking my view. Don't have clear source path. But if I've got notes, I should be able to do this because I don't know. I kind of want to share some of this. So let me try to get my thoughts together, and I'll just do this. So this morning about the flooding, that was the focus, and then feedback from this happened. I had a clearing, and you just get feedback. So I guess I'll just probably read it. I'd rather read it up here though. Fear not, for you will stand in power. You will rise above the physical happenings. The world will continue with massive changes, massive upheavals. No, it is not lost, but given when the time arrives. Added upon you will be the wisdom and knowledge of generations and cycles past who will stand with you. It's this whole theme for me that, you're not alone. You don't have to be alone. You're not going to have to do it alone. My whole life, that's been it, pretty much been it for me. So there's a lot of indications coming up for me that I'm not. But not so much on this plane, but on the other one, like here, from the destination, not where we're at now in chaos. So anyway, you will not be alone. You have never been, for this is not how your stories end. The end, they will be on record, written in the tree. On the flip side, a clean slate is prepared. That's this. This is the tree and its roots, the center. There's like a million ways to describe the same thing. So center space, 0 point. It's a tree center. It's the roots. This represents the roots of the tree, how it's been hidden from all, or tried to be hidden from all. And we are getting everything in sync now so we can prepare ourselves to flip into the new record, the A side, because of the inversion. This would be B. This would be A. This would be 2. This would be 1. And you go through 0. And you go through 0 on both of them to enter. So the entry would be like that. It's basically flipping the record. But anyway, about the flooding. They end, they end, they end, they will be on record, written in the tree. On the flip side, a clean slate is prepared. A clean slate is prepared. And we're waiting for this to flip. It's basically a great visual of this would be the record player. The old record players, it's spinning, it's running out its record. And then remember how they used to have the other one on top that's ready to drop down when this runs out? This is running out, and we're getting ready to drop the record, to flip the record, to flip the script. And it's going to be on a brand new record, different record, it seems like. Because why is it different? It's because it comes up for me that we're already here working this out. We're doing everything backwards. We're pulling you back. So we basically have sprung forward somehow, and now we have to fix our realm before we'll pull back into a place where we already live. I know I'm here. That's this. I know I'm here. I'm operating from this single line when interference doesn't come in the way, or when I veer off my path, which a lot of times is not necessarily my fault or anybody else's. The end, I'm trying to center you. The end will be on the record written in the tree. On the flip side, a clean slate is prepared. A new record will spring forth from its branches where new growth will be able to take place, will be able to take the course of nature. So we're getting out of this hidden, rooted, underground nature, and we're going to be on the top of the tree where as it comes into here into this system, as it comes into here in this system, then new leaves, new branches will grow, and that's the symbolism it was showing me this morning again. And a lot of these are old symbols, so it's like whatever is there to illustrate, it comes to view. I write it down, and I just write little bits and pieces because that's how it comes up for me, and I know what it means because it's just writing all these little sentences into a bigger story, like a full book. That's what I've been getting lately. It's just like everything is coming to view. So, a new record will spring forth from its branches, where new growth will be able to take the course of nature. You are not ending one chapter, you are ending one book, and a series indeed that composes volumes, which would reconcile, which all will reconcile, and find their way back to you. Probably should have put the one, but this was specific to me, so I'm talking in terms of me. But when you say you, me, I, it's talking about the one, the individual, whoever this resonates for, or doesn't. As the echoes of the past integrate within, it's all within. We're changing our picture, external pictures. The original tone will sound and be heard, the signal. That's in the category of the what is that, the trumpets, the 7 trumpets. Like it begins the countdown. I kind of think that's begun somehow, but I haven't personally felt or heard it, but it seems like we're more down the countdown than I think we are. So the original tone will sound and be heard. The signal will run through every thread of your fabric. It will not be missed. To end one is to start another. The new world runs now. The new world runs now. Like the record's spinning now. And we're like preparing ourselves to pull our thread through. That goes into the fiber optic table visual stuff, which I've never talked about, but I'll put that in here. It's important. I'm doing this one just kind of to get my head pulled together, so maybe I can do a good job of doing this. And I'll just drop these things in here as they go. I know I repeat myself a lot. It will not be missed. Run through your fabric, it will not be missed. The end. To end one is to start another. The new world runs now. The call has been sent to be received by the one at the proper moment. Maybe that's not why I haven't heard him. I think the call's been set out to the world. I haven't received like the 7 countdown yet, but I'm waiting for the 3, 2, 1, which seems to be right here. Bridge to bridge, pauses, breaks, and fewer. Breaks become fewer. Pauses become less long. Bridges, these are visuals, become more condensed. And there's just going to be fewer and fewer long pauses now. It's like we're running the last bit out full speed. A knowing from within, it must be answered. An echo will call. The echo comes from the the new world, and it's like echoes into the stream. It's like a calling. An echo, it will call and must be heard. Undeniable will be this knowing from within. For the sound will find you and pull you through. The record plays out. Click. There's always a click on the change. The click was always that's that part where we're running out this line, our energetic lines that's connected to the energetic fiber optic symbol cable of the source in here that's taken us over. It's taken our lines over. So the record plays out. There's always a click. And then that's where that part years ago, it was like, the one must stand alone if only for a moment. And this is the part where it's the disconnect from the old system and a reconnect to the new system, a finding of the new system, of being able to see it. All those visuals are always, it's at your feet. You're looking at your feet. It's like you're going to be able to see your path. The walk is going to come. You're going to find your path. You're going to know how to step, how to react, how to engage with the world around you, because it's all changing. Back to the original template. So the record plays out. A new one calls. Yeah, your one, like capitalized. So the new one, oh, this sucks, everybody. New one, capital O-N-E, would be here. We're small ones because we're an extension of our one. So it's like our source self, our one, is calling us back individually and collectively in our neighborhoods. I'm starting to like that word. For the leader, oh yeah, this is just more visuals I wrote down. Let me do it this way because I wrote it on here. I can't write it on the text thing. Follow the leader, that your transition will be fearless. Follow the leader, your one, and anything, there's all throughout your path. Once the matrix is removed, follow your path, follow the one, follow your leader, follow the leader, because there's always going to be somebody there to help you, somebody, something, some way, because the one source, your one source, is going to take over the artificial world around you. You're going to be able to tell, like, well, you're going to be able to tell what's real, what's not, what path is a right path. There's really no right path. There's no paths off your course. It's straight and narrow. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, I keep getting over and over, you're going to be able to see that. So, okay, so I don't really write this stuff to show it, so I'm all over the place, but it's like perception field one, where we are now, the final cue in all the chaos, says deadline. Deadline is coming up. And then a visual that came up literally when I was writing this up. I wrote deadline, and then I turned on the TV because I wanted to see the news. I put it on. I don't know if I want to show all this stuff. Everything's so messy. But anyway, I literally turned up to my TV. I turned up and this was on. It was an old TV show from the 50s, and it said she was reading this little poem, and I'm like, this is exactly what this field is talking about. So I'm like, you can't really make this stuff up. It was like on cue, and the little poem was, a dance is a dance, is a dance is a dance, not where, not why, not even by who, but only when the dance is a dance. And that's exactly what this whole thing is. It's a dance. It's returning you to, you're dancing with source. Your source is like got you. It's dancing you into understanding essentially the way of the straight and narrow path, I suppose. But then from here, where we're at now, same thing. From here, the colors turn gray. The more we go, the more we'll run out of cue. This is even before the markers fall, another layer. But the colors turn gray, paler and paler, bluer and bluer tones, because it's a blue world. Blue sky to me is blue world. Golden sky would be gold world, or the dominant color of the world. This world to me is gold. It always shows up as gold. And when the beginning meets the end is when the blue world meets the gold world. When the gold meets the blue, you'll know it, you'll feel it, you'll see it, and you're going to know that transitional change. Looking for another, don't have it. It's a bridge. It's like fade in, fade out, cross fade. And so that's the symbol of the deadline space here. And then perception of the field number 2 after that. It says a rose is a rose. And I've had this rose symbol come up a lot. I've just actually this morning put it together and understood what it means. And this is personal to me. It may or may not be your thing. But for me, and this is all really stuff that comes connected to my source. So hope it'll mean something to somebody. But there's always been a single pale rose that I've come across a lot of times in the energetic fields. It's just been randomly there, and I've never really understood it. But but the bottom line is, it's allowing, for me, it's allowing the one, me, it's allowing me to connect to all, if that makes sense. It's like allowing one to be all. I'm fighting that. I really don't like to, I don't like to, how do I put that? That it's not going to sound all snooty. I don't really like playing with others necessarily. I like just doing my own little thing. I've always been like that. And it just is easier for me. So it's about, with the deadline coming up, it's time to look at the one, look at myself, and allow the dance and play with others, the one and all. The one and all. That's the symbolism for him here. So stands one together. So I've been getting this feeling for a long time that 17-bit with the 17 like groups or people, it fits into that narrative for me. When we cross through, it's the rose symbols. The roses find their bushes, colors adorn. Rose stem finds its bush. Many roses are grafted, and it is magnificent beauty. So as we fade out the colors in this world, the colors stream true and real here in the new world. I guess that makes some sense. I'd rather write it and not say it because I sound terrible and I know that. But I'm just going to do this because it's faster. So anyway, that's that thing. It was just a connective thing to my source when I was focusing on the flooding, because apparently I'm going to be flooded. However, according to those maps Jaco had, there will be islands around me. So, I mean, I don't know. So that was my thought, and then it was instantly with the connect, fear not, for you will stand in power, and all of this stuff. So I have no fear about that. I really didn't then. It's all about understanding for me. It's preparing. It's reset my baseline a long time ago. Like, I don't even know, probably 12 years ago. Baseline reset. And then how do we take, I actually got this exact DM, because it's like, initially it was like just all kinds of random lines and symbols, and these lines would form into things and everything. And I remember all this stuff's always playing in my head. I'm like, why? I asked the question, because it's always Q&A based. I'm like, so why, what is this? What is this all about? Why is this stuff coming up in my head? Why, something like that. Like, what is this about? And it's like, and the answer, the DM in my head was immediately, it was like, we have very little to work with. And that's because of the difference of this world and this world. It's like, okay, so, coming from here, a place of clarity, clean slate, knowledge of everything that's going on in the old world, it's like, how can we get you to see through the language and the bullshit and everything else? And so it's been this slow little thing that all of these symbols and a million more I've never even shown anybody mean, but it means something. It's taken another baseline from the beginning, and it's like school. And like now maybe I've reached first grade, but the language is symbolic. It's direct. Sometimes it'll come from nowhere, like words and lines and symbols, like actually this little dance thing. That was perfect. It was perfect. So of course I wrote it down right away, but that was a quote from that show. And it's also been very repetitive over the years of this grade school learning thing. It's repetitive because of the rounds. Because once we went out of I guess I got to show. When we went out of this, one of the things, a separation line began that made us all run like this, totally together. And so it's just changed the field. And now the rounds are just constantly going around. That's this, and it's like it's coming around again. Like, let's say this is your door. It's like you can feel it. It's like it's coming around again. It's close. It's right here, and then nothing happens. You've missed it. It's coming around again. It's close. How does it feel? It's not there yet. So, as far as now, I have, as of, I think it was yesterday, I had the feeling of this happening. It's the first time I've ever had a visual that way. It was physical, it was colorful, and I'll describe that in another video. I've got separate notes from that. So, okay, hope this warmed me up a little bit. You see why I don't do this very often. I really suck at talking. But anyway, we're still waiting here. I'm waiting for we, whatever. There's a key tone, a key, a music key, a key tone, a tone that's going to tone into the chaos. It's going to keep coming around again until the key tone matches this. The door in the mind, here in the physical, the door comes round, like the door comes up around and around again, and there's going to be a point where it catches. It's going to catch. And then there's going to be a pull, and there's 3 cable lines. I'll talk about this later because it's in the other notes more clear. The positive, negative come off, and you pull into your true source line. Fiber optics, you pull through the cable. It's energy being pulled back through. That's where the pull symbolism comes from for me, anyway. So it catches mind pull through. No, mind eye pulled through, eye to eye, mind to mind. When that fiber optic cable is it's already been found. The old line's being cleared up now. Your personal line, same thing here. This is your line to source. Your line that was cast out here. Everything's being cleaned up so you can retract it, like fishing. You can pull it back through. You're doing it yourself. It's like nobody's doing it for you, except the clock is running out on the chaos. There's only so many more times this can go around. And a lot of people are dropping off this way and this way, positive and negative, and they're not all pulling through to the bridge. They're pulling off for different areas of processing. And I don't know what that means, but it's like, there's a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of things because I don't know. I'm just saying this is a feeling, but there's a feeling of maybe non-players go here, non-playable characters, aliens and all that stuff are processed a different way because they all have to reconcile. And if indeed there are parts of us that are part of them, which I think there are, but what do I know? Then those things get sorted out and they're returned to us. It's the great reunion. So we're going to know all elements of everything because we're a part of everything in here. At the end of the day, it's always felt like in the construct, in our world, it always feels like there's only one of us in here. That at the end, only one of us are exiting. But we do it together as a part of an all. And so even if we're trying to get it so as many ones can find their alls, meaning all source of themselves, all information, all lines, lineages, and when that happens, it just keeps being acquired by the one, and the one, at the end, it says that all go to the center, like all 12 tribes, like all whatever, and the 13th is the line out now that all of the 12 can escape the time loop and find the line out. They're removed through the 13 out of time, which is this whole fake board game. Then we have some cleanup period. I've said this a million times. It's all repetitive. And then everyone goes through the gem, which I've talked about a million times. And as Lisa's stuff, that's where that concept actually came from. It's like, for me, it's like a one of those disco balls, like in the 70s, how every little frame of mirror refracts glass another way. That's what it's going to do with these energy pulls. And it's like it's going to go Like your line is going to go to your glass, and then you go into your neighborhood. Um, However, it's fractalized out. This is the visuals. I'm not saying any of this is literal. Remember that. So, with visuals, it's like you can have a huge knowing what's true for you, but it might not be everybody's truth. I don't think it is necessarily. Um, but at the end, all of the 12 come together and they pull through together in the 13th. That's the flashpoint. That's when it happens all at once. But there's also a lot of individual um, vanishings, the vanishing. And I don't think we're seeing it publicly, but I feel it's happening. Nobody's talking about it, at least not, it hasn't come up in my world. But people are just vanishing. Groups of people, groups of, well, let's just say groups of people, because they're like reconciled. They're reconciling. And whenever that happens, whatever it is they're reconciling, they're going to get pulled. They're going to get pulled according to, it's sorting. It's sorting houses. It's like, it's not about race. It's not even about like countries. It's about like to like. It's like house to house, like creeds. Like your house knows the best way for you to come together. Your house knows itself. Like every house knows itself. And when these alls find these alls, that's when the flash will happen. At least to a point where everything is in line. That's what the symbols say. And it's all lining up for one point to pull us through reality. It's really pulling us through the old game board, flipping us through to the new system, clean and flip into the new world. Then, this symbol has been coming up since I was a little kid. My mom used to draw this symbol forever, and I don't know. She just she'd sign her name and put that around, and it's become the symbol of showing this really world to world. But she'd always do this. I've asked her why she does. She says, I have no idea, but it's a symbol, and so the symbol's changing from block to free. It's 3 lines of stuff, and it's like these lines are being processed right now through all this chaos and go through and stuff. And energetic now, instead of blocked, door, block, gate, block. That's not here anymore. It's all opening up. The system's opening up. World to world, system to system, understanding to understanding. And when we're all properly sorted, then that's how we get totally clear enough to get out of all of these constructs and return to a state of all like clean, like totally clean with the full picture. We know the full story. We can read it back to you. We can quote it to you. We can stand up and give speeches on it. We can tell you from real life that I experienced this, because we're all of this. Like everybody's experience is my experience. Everyone's experience is your experience. And it's just this state of understanding. And it's all an organized, laying out organized, like it's your tribe. It's your creed. We represent this and this and this and this and the system. And when this is cleaned up and put in here, the new system, the record laid down new, it's like there's nothing, there's the little lines, there's organization on the new record. There's, it's like the foundation. The new baseline is completed, but when you hit here, then you start following your little record line, and it leads you exactly down the path that you need to go. And you're working on your track, but with other people's tracks. Like you can go, like if there's a whole bunch of tracks, getting way off course, I shouldn't do this. This will be a 5-hour video. But like, so when we get into the new world and we begin playing the record, let's say, so it's like, so is everybody else, but it's not chaotic anymore. It's like complete separate lines. It's like this. And so you can jump tracks and you can bounce here you can bounce here depending on your levels. And it's all about frequency. It's all about getting you bumped up, but not in a way that we play it here. Not like, to dominate you, to make money over you, to rule you. It's not that at all. It's just, it's a way to grow. We're bumping up the tracks to get to the highest frequencies. And when the highest frequencies are matched, then we move forward in whatever it is. Okay, I think I've said enough now. I need to rest. But I'll do these other ones with the, there's three more main ones. One was, I don't even remember, Trump, the flip, inverter tone, removal, the access removes with the four corners. And then somewhere was that thing with the, it kind of matched. The next day I kind of saw that it matched Lisa's poem that Lily wrote. Because it had, well, I'm getting way off track, which is what I do. I'm kind of chaotic, and I put it into order. But anyway, I'll make those, and I'll put these in a little bit. Hey everybody, Russ here. The flip, a topic nobody wants to hear about. Just kidding. So, these are the original notes from last night. What a disaster. So, you'll be happy to know I just sat down and rewrote them so I could explain it. Let me do it this way right now. I'm just going to set the phone down. No visuals. I've been trying to think of the best way to tell this, so I've got a few props set up to try to explain it. But the bottom line is, I was going to do this one last in the next few because I need to explain the visuals of the fiber optic tables. And without that, I'm not sure it'll make sense, meaning I'm not sure if I'll be able to tell it. So just off the top of my head, it's like there are three cables, let's say fiber optic cables. It's about the concept and how, let's say this is a positive and negative line, the duality. So each one of these cables has, the fiber optic lines, like its own, how it's wrapped. They're all wrapped around each other in a weird way. And the concept about these lines were initially that you're entangled and you have two lines in a reality which operate as one single line. And that's what, I'm looking for an old prop. Here it is. Okay. And it is gotten into this massive spider network that we're undoing now. So it's also, the symbols in here say things like the snake, the medical doctor thing. It's like, here's your pathway line, and we've wrapped the snake around your optics. Something like that. So you've got two separate lines, two separate pathways in duality. It could be compared to like the mind, how you have a left brain and a right brain. And those were supposed to be used in this creation, I believe, to be able to play this game of duality where it's a thinking pattern. I don't know how to say it. It's like you can bounce things off your own self. You can be creative, go down the creative side, and go down all these creative paths. You can go here, analytical, and do this. And it was about making this beautiful balance of creation. And there were basically, this is how it's showing up for me energetically. And so there were two halves that run separately, and were dual lines until they were crossed by the snake. So with the fiber optics, and I'm sorry, this will be slow. It takes me a while to get my head around this, which is why I'm doing this really. But there's like a negative path line that connects us, and then we have a negative line. And you can put any number of things on this, good, bad, little angel, little devil. I don't know, anything that's the opposite. That's why this is the world of opposites. And it was actually running as a single world. That's why you have, man, woman, all of those dynamics. It's like everything complements one another. It was a beautiful design. It was like a perfect pattern flow to gain the most out of your experience. Might be a good way to put it. And then entered the symbol of the snake. There's always, anytime you have two in duality, that's what this was. This would represent, see, these together used to be, that's where you get, like, I think, your soul partner and stuff, because you were two halves of the same coin that worked in complete and total harmony and unity. We were, as originals. And then with the separation, and let's use the Eden symbolization, with the snake and all that, it created the first split. Or in this other cable, we can use the snake terminology, I like it. So the snake came in and separated these two halves of ourselves, which created two completely different potential realities, and then worlds upon worlds in itself. I hope I'm saying this good. And it created the separation. So no longer are these two halves of ourselves operating as one in a natural pathway. Now they've been divided, and the snake came in and began to wrap its optics around it. So these two people, these two ones, now operate individually and not together. It's the whole original concept of, of the natural path of this world. Husband, wife, all that. Whatever you think of that, it's just get the concept of it. So enters into this world a controlling three. And that's why it's now a three. That's why now everything's three. So the symbol said years ago that, you have two lines of reality that are operating as one. And that's what this is. So then comes in the snake, the third, the controlling third, which is why you would have this kind of symbolism. To me, this is just all me. You can totally disregard. But then you had the controlling three. And of course, the controlling three is at the top. So the controlling three, which, would be like that eye, the veil, 1,000 different symbologies. The veil, the eye, the whatever, over, just kept masking and masking and masking and masking in this world where everything turned into, where it used to be able to complement and play off itself in a really beautiful way. Now this controls, it steers the heads of these until it was the first split. It was the first state of division. What am I trying to say? It was the first, invasion. So anyway, that's what this symbol says to me. So you got the dominating over, controlling these two, and of course they always stay at the bottom. So then I'm already losing my track. I keep getting myself thrown off. So anyway, enters a new system of control, a new electric thing plugged into your electrics. So everything's just like becomes a mess over the years. I guess that's it. That's what I'm trying to say. And then that's why the symbol says now, if you have, we're going from this It's a return to the center because it's going to bring balance of everything, a unity of these three. That now instead of the head of the snake, we're going to have the head of your own source. So it's like this false thing came in here snake wise, did all this. Now we're separating the lines and allowing for your source line to be connected, which will symbolically be above all of it, which controls you. So, I mean, not controls you, but you can control yourself. Okay, that's all I think I want to say about that right now. This is kind of hard. You see why I never talk about this stuff? It's like, where do you start? Where do you stop? Okay, so now let me just move ahead to what I saw the other night regarding the flip. I guess the best way to do it is just to tell the story. Oh, let's start here for context. I have a video queued up. This is the concept. This is actually where this concept came from. Because when I started having connection to source, my source, it has to work with anything that's in my mind because it's going into an enclosed system. So it's always going to be, people will say, why is it in my voice? Why are these voices in my voice? Why is it this? I used to ask that a lot because it's like, how come it always comes in my voice? How come it's always in my mannerisms? How come it's always how I think? And it's because Source is saying, this is what I have to work with. This you will understand. And it's basically been, for me, a mind school. So let's enter the concept of the flip. This is where the visual came from. So that's what we're doing. We're coming down the line right now. We've been going up. If it shows it, we're going to be waiting for this one spot. So we've been going through these lines around and when we stop, we go back. We're wrapping through the line. We're clearing the line to get it to a space, an optical space and frequency space of, here we go. This is the feeling. And we stop. We got to go another round. We've got to go another round. We're going over and over and over and over until we can meet the mark. Yeah. Oh, that was good. I just noticed that. That's right there. That's a great optic because that's what's coming up next, essentially. Okay. So, getting back on my little script here. So, last night. Oh, that's why I started this. Okay. It was to get you trying to illustrate the portal thing. How, our line is connected a bunch with all these things, but then, that worked good. Okay, how do I say this? I have to give this context, or it's not going to make any sense. At least I don't know how to tell it any other way, and I apologize. You'll have to bear with me because I have no other way to say it. Okay, so I'm just going to put that down for a minute. So for a long time, when you close your eyes and sometimes even not, I'm sure a lot of people have had this experience. Ever since the connection thing happened, the connection to source, it would take me different places in what I used to call lines. I still would, actually. The lines are actually like portals. They take you places. They take you to different fields. They take you to new beings. And this happens a lot, like for me. And it's like at bed when when I'm conscious of it, basically when I lay down and start to go to sleep, there'll always be a portal space. It's like something, my whole mind will come, it'll almost always be different colors because it's all kinds of lessons. And then your consciousness will go through the tunnel and take you someplace. And this has happened a lot, like in Antarctica, it's happened and taken me to a lot of the networks of, well, this is in the early days. That's a whole, I'm not even going to say it because it'll get me way off path. It takes you to wherever you need to learn, I guess. So at least that's been my experience. So anyway, this happens all the time with the portal thing and where I'm going, and it's actually really fun, but I fall asleep all the time. Like, it's like you go in, you know you're going somewhere, and then whatever you experience there, for me anyway, it comes back in the morning, and I remember parts of it. I usually remember all of it, and if I don't write it down right away, I'm not going to remember it because I can't hold it, because it's a completely another reality. It's a different mind. It's a different set of rules for the most part, because we're so dumbed down, and yeah. And so anyway, getting to the part that Lisa can't wait for. so, so with the flip, okay, I said that. I've talked about the fiber optic concept. Talked about that. I just want to say it right because it's going to be all over the place if I don't. So with that understanding, so last night, trying to think of those before, yeah, whatever. Last night at some point, I had the experience, and I was still in consciousness. I was still conscious of this, but I was just starting to go somewhere. I was in a field, and I just remember I was coming from this direction, looking this way, and let's say I'm here, and all of a sudden, to the right, there was a portal. I would call it a line. Like, you're on a field, where do you want to go? So anyway, this opens up in my mind, in my consciousness, and I've never felt anything like it. It was completely different than all of the other portals I've gone down, if that makes any sense. Those other ones they're quite electric. They're always like more modern, more fancy, more different. But this one was different as soon as I stepped into it. And by step, your consciousness. So I'm kind of moving my consciousness this way, and I'm drawn to this, and I knew something was different by the time I went in, like, right to here. Okay. Laid that part down. Okay, so last night I felt and saw the flip. Direct message was, it's just ahead. Okay, so the color that what this was a mountain moss. It was a green mountain moss. The paint color is my favorite color. I don't know why. It's this color. Oh, it's my signature color. I used it to paint the fence. It's this. It was different but it's kind of the same concept. It's this color of green. It is. That portal was rich. It had depth. It was different than anything. So I better read my notes because I can't hold thought on this because I'm not in it, but I'm trying. So anyway, going down this tunnel, which was this beautiful portal. It was like ancient. It was woodsy. Well, let me just read. I'm already messing up. So mountain moss was the theme color. It was this really deep, rich green. I'm waiting for the look up thing. So at the end of the corner, it just stopped, and this bright light from above here. It's just like you have to look up because it stopped. Oh, let me I brought a little prop. I brought my little organite lion. So going down the portal and totally drawn to above, which I've never seen. Destinations always end up somewhere. This one was like, you just look up. And it was this light like this, a light like that. And you look up and there's this light. And it was a moonlight color. It was that kind of white. It was It was like moonlight color. Through the reflection, yeah. And when you, so basically it's like this. I'm like, whoa, how amazing. My attention is all on what's in this tunnel. And then it was literally this fast. It just went up, up. Am I doing this good? It just went up through the light. And then it went to maybe here. And this is as far as I could go. And it pushed me back. So it was like here. So I went through the little light, which that's a great example from it. It went through and it went up and then back. And then I came back out. So that was like a little vision look, I guess. But it's really amazing. It's loaded with information. Ancient corridor. It said, this is where it all began. It felt like, read like a tree root. Like, it was so woodsy. It was so natural. It was life. It was breathing. It was like you'd never want to leave there. And it's like, it's just mountain moss. That's the color. Okay. Branches, loss of ability to fear. Yeah, as soon as I was in here, you could just feel it. You have no fear. Loss of ability to hear. Fear. It's a great way to word it. Apparently I did, but I just don't remember it. It was different. It was electric. It was wooden. It was straight and narrow. It was like going up through the branches of a tree. It's going to totally flip the script. It's going to flip the record. So this visual says things to me. It was, it's just ahead. The flip is just ahead. Flip in range, near, writings and symbols, old language on the walls. It was like embedded in the walls. It was living. It's like if you went through a wall, like it's just got like every fanciful language root was like written in roots, which sounds silly, I know, but it's like the more you go through any root, it would just take you to whatever, like the whole history of whatever. It was living. So it's like a root branch out of it, and there was so many of them. It's like a wall of knowledge. Yeah, that's the best I got. It had an ancient green color, mossy, which turned out mountain moss is a color shade. At Ace Hardware, I took a whole bunch of palettes home in greens because I wanted, and this was as soon as I saw this, I'm like, this is my green. So I've got cans of it out there. I paint it. If I have to paint something, I always paint it in mountain moss. So embedded in the walls, living. Moss, woods, roots, stems, shaded, a forgotten color palette. Yeah, everything about this tunnel, this branch, I can feel it now. It's like forgotten, lost, shadowed. Why can't you hear my echo? If I am in a woods, I call out and nobody hears my voice. It's like that if you, I don't even know what it is. When you scream into a forest, does anybody hear you? I'm feeling like that. It's just saying, nobody can hear me. I'm lost, forgotten. I'm forgotten. It's the first time I've ever had anything like that happen. It's not words. It's a feeling. You can feel it. I can feel the draw. And just like, because I was on that roller coaster years ago, it's That one I think is somewhere else. This one, there's one up in here, and I've been on it, and it's that total feeling. It was just, it was really fast. It was just enough to give me a glimpse just ahead. It's just ahead. It's just ahead. Now, having said that, so if we've got, let's say this is the exit tunnel, at least for me. Let's say I was here, I'm headed this direction, and it's over here. I would suggest, I'm just saying how this reads. It's like, we're coming around again in our loop, and I would say next stop. If I've just seen it now, I would say next round. You'd be able to go through it, and I would want to. I would want to. Well, the question is, what is around? What kind of that looks like? We're out of time, real time. It's running awkwardly. It's not true time, which is why I'm always like, yeah, March, April, registered years ago. And it's never, I just don't know because of the rounds. I don't know what a round represents. Other than I have the slightest bit of understanding just between just because of the last, it's coming around again, which was a few months ago. I don't even know when I said it. My guess would be it was in here. If it's coming around again, it means, it feels like, next stop. But I don't know how much, I don't know what this registers at. And then it could also mean, because I haven't been able to see this or tag it. It could also mean, you're going around again, you're going around again, which would put us into next March, April. That's why I'm like that. I can't commit to it. However, and it might be like that. However, depending on how they're playing it out, because it is just a script, there's a big feeling here. You're going to go around. We're going to loop you until consciousness meets its balance. It's got to meet the mark. And when it meets the mark, then it's all linked to financial. From our perspective, it's really all linked to blood. But our perspective is it's the same thing to me, money and blood. It's what they trade in currency. And when the financial system actually falls, that's when all the legs of the artificial stuff being held up fall. And then we have a period where then all of our ancestry comes back in. The 12 tribes were able to take the space. And none of this stuff happens for me until we have the financial crash with the complete fall of the system, which takes everybody offline. Because nothing in their world, the Dark Hats, nothing in their world operates without the Babylonian money system. Period. It just doesn't. So until we have that, in my mind, and it just doesn't feel like it's there. But I will say this, it feels like very strongly, every single sign feels like it's coming up that this could be the March-April period. Everybody's saying the same things as far as silver. I've seen a lot of physical evidence. Silver is one of my markers for a lot of different reasons. But there is so much saying it's near. Now, we're already in March. March, April was the period of the phase, the cycle. So, and again, I'm not sure if March, April is the the period where we just go into it and we have another year, another round, which I'm for right now, I'm just going to call this cycle around a year. I have really no way to define it. But in my logical mind, it does feel like it's very possible we could go another round until the door comes around again, because so much has to happen that hasn't. But having said that, as soon as the financial legs collapse. Everything happens so quickly. They've already got the new system in place. It's got to get people to a certain level, a certain state of mind. They need to get out of fear. They need to get out of worrying about how I'm going to feed my kid tomorrow. How am I going to pay for this? How am I going to do that? I can't do it. There's going to be this phase, this bridge phase, that's going to be where the old system's going to fall. It's where we begin the walk. And everyone has to get out of the scarcity mode in order to make the mark, in order to balance the scale and bring it back to the line straight and narrow that you can walk on. And I'm not sure that is going to happen this round. We got the midterms, which is hugely important because it just is. There is a lot of things that haven't happened yet. But I mean, having said that, it's going to move like in a flash when it does. And it doesn't, it seems like this round, March, April, everything is set to go off. I really can't personally see us doing another year like this unless if there's some major hit and it goes around again to the next phase, which I do think there's going to be more rounds, by the way, but not in the state that we're doing. As soon as, in my mind, what this is all saying to me is as soon as we can get the consciousness to make the bar, to go past the bar, we're cleaning it up here, we're cleaning up there. It's got to reach here. Right now we're here. I think we're going here, which tells me the flip is soon. There's a lot of different markers. It's right here. I guess if I have to be honest in this reading of this, it can happen anytime. It can happen, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen quick. I really think it's going to happen before, let's say, the end of the year. Just tons of things are releasing. But as soon as the financial comes down and we have that marker of 10 days of darkness, whatever that represents, 3 days, 2 days, a week, 5 days, I don't care. Whatever that is, when the system shuts down and people have to sit and watch the videos and stuff, or whatever is going to happen, whatever that scenario looks like, that puts the people offline and they change the lines to financial and reboot us up on that, that's when the flip happens, because it completely changes everything. That's when we would be ready for a flip, because it's all about the minds of the people and getting the one mind of each individual one to have an understanding that makes that balance, that makes the mark, that the bar of justice scale thing will balance out. Until that happens, we don't flip. But I think it could happen. I think it could happen today, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, honestly, but there is a lot of stuff that hasn't happened. We're definitely in that range. The lion says so. Just kidding. But then I brought my little rock that says to remember. It all is about remembering. And we are remembering, and we're so far down that. When we get to the remembrance mark, where we remember and understand a certain set of things, then we go down we flip into the line, the period of time that cleans us up. In other words, we take everything back. All of the sealed things become unsealed. We have access to everything. All of the lines that hold us in, that they plug into our fiber optic hard lines, and they do electronically to control us and steer us and mirror things off from us so we can't see. All of that is no more, and the people will make rapid advancement. They're going to have, I know people are scared of it. I'm not. I think, instead of us having to focus on the world, that's when we have things in a white hat kind of a way come in for a period with the artificial intelligence and think and work all that stuff out. And then they've got robots. You know, Elon's saying by the end of this year, every household will have a home robot, which is just like everything. So, in other words, what I see that is the removal of the weight of the world being taken off of the minds of the people. And when that happens, it puts us in that balanced state where we can now start to do our own things. You know, it's not like you have to worry about every single thing. Meeting rent. How am I going to afford groceries? I'm starving. I need surgery. I need this. I need that. You know, that has to go. And that goes with the crash of the financial for me. And we've got to we've got to get the balance bar. We've got to get the balance bar balanced. And right now, I see it as we've done the left. They've exhausted that line. We're working on the right. Let's say we're like here on that line. And then what happens when both sides have been exhausted, then the scale balances out on the bar of justice. And that's what we want for a flip, because we've handled both lines and it just is now possible. So that's why I've been so wishy-washy on that, because it cannot be read, but it can be felt. And so with the flip concept coming up last night, which I cannot tell you was different. It's different than any other field I've ever seen. It's different than any other tunnel I've been down, anything I've ever explored. It called me to it, and for a reason. And the reason is to give a simple message that the flip is upon you. Okay. Let me finish these off. God, we're going so long. I hope it'll even upload. Maybe I should stop it and start it. Yeah, I'm going to stop here. And I need to rest for a bit. And I'll finish off these notes. And that's probably all I can do for today. But the flip is, in my mind, it is upon us. And in my mind, we still have those things I talked about to reconcile. But when it does, it's like, bam, everything falls into place. Snap to grid. Everything will start operating as it should be operating, so that the people's minds can get off the 3D world and start thinking in a higher plane world. And it's just a path. And it's a walk. It takes time. When we get in that state, I think it could go for a while. I asked about that once, and the range was 2026 to 2033 max. In other words, that's how long it could take for the consciousness, once balanced, to go through the restoration phase and enter into the new world. And again, this is my opinion. Nobody has to believe me. I may be wrong. I have no agenda. I have nothing to sell anybody. I'm just saying this is how it's laying out for me over a very long period of time, and with purpose. And I know the purpose. I know part of the purpose. And it's just time to prepare yourself. And that's what I'm doing. So I hope this was not a disappointment video with the flip. But that is probably the basics. I'll probably go back to it from here and there. But that was pretty much the experience. Actually, I do have this morning all this stuff of it ran out, the time fold, the home field. I should do this, so I guess I will make another video. But this ends this page, and I'll start here. I'll start here when I take a break, because this video is getting too long. And that's why I don't like to talk. I will go on, and I know it repeats. I know it loops. I know I don't make any sense. I'm very aware of it, but hopefully this will help people understand in our group, like, where I'm coming from. So I hope it does that. Thank you for listening, and I will make another one of these today. Wow, it's 3:30 already. I got to get dinner today, or maybe tomorrow morning, and I'll finish these off. And I've just exhausted myself from it. So, before I go, sorry. Hang on, let me log in. Another roller coaster video. Let's end with this, shall we? It's I don't know why. There was something in this I wanted to see. Oh, full loop. Yeah. How many more cycles do we have to go? This is the tenant scenario. That's why I wanted to mention it. We're going at it's like the copy thing. We're going through it. We're correcting this. Next time we can go and go further, doing this, and there's nothing stopping us there anymore. But this is the concept of the flip. Come on, more flip. It's kind of exciting. See, this is what we've been doing, but we can't flip. We go back into the old rounds, but it's happening. It's happening.
You'll be swell. You'll be great. Gonna have the whole world. Start a place. Starting here. Start now. Honey, everything's coming up roses. Clear the decks. Clear the tracks. You got nothing to do but relax. Blow a kiss. Take a bow. Honey, everything's coming up roses.
Thanks, everybody.